The rain pounded against the windows, each drop a haunting reminder of the isolation that surrounded her. Sarah, a 22-year-old college student, had always dreamed of living alone. But on this stormy night, that dream was about to become a nightmare. It was just past 9 p.m. when Sarah settled into her cozy apartment. Grateful for the warmth that contrasted sharply with the chilly October air outside, she had just finished a grueling study session and was looking forward to a quiet evening of relaxation. With a steaming mug of hot chocolate in hand, she curled up on the couch, ready to lose herself in the latest true crime documentary on Netflix. The howling wind outside seemed to crescendo as Sarah became engrossed in the show. She barely noticed when the first knock came. It was so soft, so hesitant, that she almost convinced herself she had imagined it. But then it came again. 3 slow, deliberate taps that sent a chill down her spine. Sarah muted the TV, her heart suddenly racing. She wasn't expecting anyone, especially not at this hour. Cautiously, she approached the door, her bare feet silent on the cold hardwood floor. Through the peephole, she saw a figure shrouded in darkness. A man, tall and broad-shouldered, stood on her doorstep. His face was obscured by the shadow of a hood, and his hands were buried deep in the pockets of a long, dark coat. Every instinct told Sarah not to open the door. She held her breath, hoping that if she remained silent, the stranger would leave. Instead, a voice unnervingly calm and smooth drifted through the door. "Excuse me, miss. I'm so sorry to bother you, but my car broke down just down the street. Could I use your phone to call for help?" The words were polite, even friendly, but something about the tone made Sarah's skin crawl. Why her apartment? Why so late on such a miserable night? Surely there were businesses still open, places more appropriate for a stranded motorist to seek assistance. Sarah remained frozen, her mind racing through possible responses. Should she answer, tell him to go away, and pretend she wasn't home? Before she could decide, the man spoke again, his voice taking on an edge that hadn't been there before. "I know you're in there. Can see the light under the door. Please, I just need to make a quick call." The change in his tone sent a jolt of fear through Sarah. She backed away from the door, her eyes never leaving the peephole. The knocking resumed, louder this time, more insistent. The doorknob rattled as the man tested it, and Sarah silently thanked herself for always keeping it locked. With trembling hands, Sarah reached for her phone. She dialed 911, her voice barely above a whisper, as she explained the situation to the operator. The calm voice on the other end assured her that help was on the way, urging her to stay quiet and hidden. But the man at the door wasn't giving up. The knocking had stopped, replaced by an even more terrifying sound. Metal scraped against metal as he attempted to pick the lock. Sarah's breath caught in her throat, her eyes wide with terror as she realized he was trying to force his way in. Retreated to her bedroom, closing and locking the door behind her. The sound of splintering wood echoed through the apartment as the front door finally gave way. Heavy footsteps moved through the living room, slow and deliberate. Sarah pressed herself against the far wall, praying that the bedroom door would hold. Just when she thought all hope was lost, a new sound cut through the night. Sirens wailed in the distance, growing louder with each passing second. The footsteps in the living room faltered, then quickened. Sarah heard the front door slam, followed by the sound of running feet on the wet pavement outside. When the police arrived moments later, they found Sarah huddled in her bedroom, shaken but unharmed. The front door hung off its hinges, a stark reminder of how close she had come to disaster. Despite an extensive search of the area, the mysterious intruder was never found. In the days that followed, Sarah learned that she wasn't the only one who had been targeted. Several other young women in the area reported similar incidents. A man at the door, asking for help, becoming increasingly aggressive when turned away. The community was on edge, wondering when or where he might strike next. Sarah never spent another night in that apartment. The experience left her with a deep-seated fear that took years of therapy to overcome. Even now, years later, the sound of rain against windows or an unexpected knock at the door can send her heart racing. The case of the man at the door remains unsolved to this day. Was he a simple burglar, or something far more sinister? Did he specifically target Sarah, or was she just a random victim of opportunity? These questions haunt Sarah and the community to this day. As you lock your doors tonight and settle in for the evening, ask yourself, What would you do if you heard that knock? Would you open the door? And remember, sometimes the most terrifying monsters aren't the ones in movies or books. They are the ones waiting just outside, in the shadows of a rainy night. Subscribe for more chilling true crime stories that will make you think twice about answering the door.